what's going on, good people? Yes, I'm back. What is it? Pluto. Yeah. Keeping it a secret. Shh. Pluto and Libra. All right, Eric Taylor, Taylor 2 Coaching. The Pluto and Libra generation. Now, you know Pluto rules Scorpio, the 8th house, Hades, the underworld, explosions, the atomic bomb, power, secrets, sex, transformation, death and rebirth, right? The occult, metaphysics, astrology, numerology, the tarot. Pluto is this generational karmic planet. It's 248 years through the whole cycle of the 12th house zodiac wheel. So Pluto and Libra, Pluto's got that Scorpio energy, very different from the Libra, right? Pluto is about digging deep, investigation, secrets, lies, espionage, FBI, CIA, secret governments, right? Psychology, digging deep for oil. Well, Libra doesn't want to dig deep. Libra is Venus, cardinal air sign, communication, ruler of the 7th house, love, beauty, fairness, justice, harmony, peace, balance, relationships, sales, marketing, the scales of justice, but the scales of weighing things out, right? We're signing contracts, law. This is interesting. Now, Pluto and Libra, now there's retrograde periods, right? But in general, it went from 1971 until 1984, you know? So went into Libra, then went back to Virgo, then goes back into Libra. Same thing on the other end with Libra, Scorpio. So 71 to 84, if you were born during that time, you're the Pluto and Libra generation. Now, you got to hit me up, Eric Taylor, Taylor 2 Coaching at gmail.com, because you want to know what house this is in. It's very different if it's in the 2nd house, right? And Pluto and Libra plays out very just people. Righteous, compulsive, obsessive, about fairness, balance, and justice. They want peace and harmony. They're all or nothing about relationships, right? If you see it in the 2nd house, it can be about values and self-worth and money and with their partner. If it's in the 5th house, it's about their hobbies, their children, how they want to raise their children, you know? Their artwork, their creativity, their, passion, their dating, their romance. So each house, it plays out with a different energy. But overall, this generation rules the nation. I mean, Pluto and Libra, they really have this karmic placement about transforming relationships, their heart, their love. Kind of perfect that I'm filming this on Valentine's Day. I'll post it in a day or two, but just so you know, there are no accidents, right? So you'll find that you are all in on relationships or you're all out. You feel like you need a partner, and and then you feel like smacking a mosquito or a fly to get away, or that you don't need partnership. This brought in a time of independence, you know, real equal rights and liberation and justice for women. 71 to 84 for this generation, it's very powerful, you know. This was hip-hop, this was laws changing, this was AIDS, this was crack, this was government shifting, and sort of the start of the division and not having fairness and balance in the political sphere, right? This was the beginning of Reagan, Jimmy Carter, Ford. Pluto and Libra, and you'll see where it's placed in the house, they really came into a place where you can see a big difference from the Pluto and Virgo, where there was this almost like a magnetic ability to manifest the right connections, the right balance. These people are movers and shakers, and they know how to listen and then how to sort of dispense their language so it's pleasing to obtain whatever they want. And it's not in a bad way, it's pure, but it's part of their superpower, right? And they have such passion about what is righteous, what is just. They're very pure, you know. I respect this generation. I was almost a part of it, but I'm the end of Pluto and Virgo. But Pluto and Libra, which I have a lot of friends and family, and you know, my cousin, my wife, you know, it's fascinating because it's in between. Remember I told you that Virgo Scorpio, that sextile, the light and the dark side of the sort of the same coin. Pluto and Libra just came in to bring the balance between Virgo and Scorpio, right? Mutable and fixed. This is cardinal, initiating autumn, initiating fall. These people will initiate justice. They will initiate relationships. Now, their fears can lead them to great transformation and change, because Pluto can be fear. And when you say death and rebirth, it's not necessarily the literal, you know, it's more figurative, emotional, spiritual. There will be changes, vast changes, through their communication of love and relationships. And when they're done, they can be really done. They can fly solo for a long time. It's not that they don't love or want love or need love, but Pluto in Libra, and wherever Pluto is, it brings in sort of the dark side. It brings in the pain, the psychology, the trauma, the crises. And then it's asking you, especially this generation, and then what house it's in, how are you going to heal from Pluto and Libra in your 4th or 5th house, right? How are you going to heal the relationship from your ancestry, your roots, your mother, right, in the 4th house, your middle school, your experience in the privacy of your own home. Those relationships with mom, grandma, children, all right, 5th house. It's very deep because Pluto and Libra, they don't really want anything fake, right? Now we know Libra in itself, at times, they can be vague. They like to get knowledge and information from you, and then they don't want to, what is that? Sorry for the wind. It's been windy the last couple of days when I'm recording, but you know, it is what it is to be in nature. But they, not only do they want to push the envelope, but they want to transform and transcend, or I should say they need to, pass any BS. Right? If you don't have justice and rights and balance, then what are we doing here? That's how Pluto and Libra feels, right? If they're going to give you respect, then they surely demand it back, right? If they're going to love you, and so they also can have this mirroring effect, right? If you come at them fake or halfway, they might do the same to you, or just totally dish you and not acknowledge you at all. They don't have time for that. They have a sweet naivete about them. Because they don't want to see the world, the dark, dirty, raw side of the Pluto and Scorpio. They're aware of it, and they're not as analytical and logical and critical as the Pluto and Virgo. The Pluto and Libra is at a different vibration of receiving, accepting, acknowledging, giving, and sharing. And when they do this at their optimal levels and powers, they're a powerhouse, you know? And it's the thing that can block them from having that harmony, peace, and fairness, and love, and balance in relationships. So most of the time, they can have trouble in relationships or finding the life partner or love, because most people are not going to, and this is why you got to know the house and other placements and if something's conjunct the Pluto, whether it's the sun or Venus or Mars, you know, and the conjunction, you know, you really want it between like 0 and 5 degrees. You know, if it's the trine, right, in your birth chart where you see Pluto and Libra, then you'll look for the trine with the other air sign. So Aquarius and Gemini, that forms a trine, the 190 degrees, right? So, you know, it's fascinating. They can obsess about their respect and what's right and just, right? Because they kind of have their own Rolodex and mental list, right? And that's why you could read it. They'll say, oh, they're obsessive. They could be compulsive about these things. Because if you're not being fair, they'll let you know. They can be, it's not abrasive, but they can just be very forward and blunt. Libra knows how to listen and push buttons. And not in necessarily negative ways, it's just, it's air. It's cardinal air. So it's at this perfect midpoint in the chart, in the zodiac, right? Where it's dealing with the others. It's all about, not self, it's all about the others and how they relate, how they do business, how they do marketing, sales, contracts, marriage, relationships, the courthouse. But it's the dealing with the others and how they're seen and perceived. And, perception is not always reality. So Pluto and Libra, people will always see them one way, but they might not be ready for that. You guys have to evolve so you can get to the truth of your heart's desires. Because you might not always be at the place where you want, or where you, right, your ideology is the harmony, fairness, peace, balance, justice. But your scale might be like 70-30. You want it your way. And it can be a little selfish. That's not the intention, though. And so this is why Pluto is asking you to sort of dig deep and investigate into self. Now, the archetype of Libra is about others. That's why they're great at planning these events, and social workers and lawyers and marriage counselors and relationship coaches and matchmakers and interior designers and decorators. Because it's Venus, it's Friday, it's woman, it's femininity, it's purity, it's love, it's beauty. It's your comfort, it's your pleasure. But those things are your ideals, your heart's desire. And because it's the Pluto and Libra, it's that indicator and that mark of the Pluto that's saying, you have to get to this. You have to transform to this. You have to reach for this. This is what you have to achieve. You have to obtain this. You are this, but you're not there yet. Does that make sense? And so that can be really hard. And it depends, it's, like I said, the aspects, the birth chart, what your sun sign is. Right? Because if you're an Aries sun with Pluto and Libra, it's very different. And in some ways that can make it easier. Right? Because you might just rush in to these things and get to these levels of transformation and change through trial and error, through not wanting to hear no. But understand, this is really deep. Understand, if you're born during this time, right? Most likely your Neptune is probably in Sagittarius for most of this time. And Uranus could be in Scorpio for part of it, and Sag for the other part of it. I mean, it's 71 to 84. But so, and this is the thing, right? It's very fascinating because, in Hellenistic or ancient, Vedic astrology, they're stopping at Saturn. But even some Vedic astrologers are acknowledging they're seeing the effects of Neptune, Uranus, and Pluto. I know I see them all the time in my clients in their charts. And so I know Neptune is disease, Pluto's virus. Uranus is, like really like part of the nervous system, electricity, hurricanes, tsunamis, all this and that. So there is these connections between these three placements in your chart and these outer planets. And their movements are slow, but they affect the generations, right? Pluto, 12 to, more years, 17, 20, whatever it is, right? Neptune, Uranus is like 7 and change, 7.5, sometimes just 7. Neptune can be, it can be a lot, right? I mean, I know I did my Neptune and Aquarius video, and both my sons, they're, caught up in that in between 09 and 99. I think it went from 98 to like 2012. So Neptune can be 13, 14 years. So I guess the question is for you, Pluto and Libra, are you ready to be introspective? Are you ready to do the investigation of Pluto, that Scorpio archetype, to look within your own heart and soul and see what you need to go from the sort of Scorpion archetype, rising, ascending like the phoenix, to soar like the eagle? So you're, on your highest vibration. Well, how do you do that? That's the compulsion and obsession. That's the not seeking the fairness, justice, harmony, peace, and balance from others in the world, but finding it within for yourself. Because once you find it within, you will reflect it and vibrate it through the energy out to others. So then you'll receive it back. Capiche? I mean, it's that simple, but it's that deep and it's that hard. Pluto placements, it's no joke. Libra's not messy. Libra's like clean and linens and beauty and perfume and smelling good and looking good and Venus is, Pluto's like in the soil, in the back alley, and Pluto and Libra, there's definitely, you got to address the subject of sex, right? I mean, that's what Pluto and underworld and Hades is, secrets and lies. So that's the question too. What are you reflecting to receive back? What secrets and lies are you keeping or telling yourself? Right? What is the recurring dialogue that you are playing on that jukebox, on that boombox, on that iPod, on your MP3, on your Alexa, on your Siri, on your, Apple Music? What is it that you're playing for yourself that's affecting you, that you are bringing back out to the world, to others? Are you over-sexual? Are you sleeping around? Are you a virgin? Are you a prude? Are you a flirt? Are you a cheater? Are you diehard loyal? Are you, playing the role of the mistress? Are you the submissive? This is this can be a challenge, because Libra sometimes, even though they love to listen, they don't necessarily want to always accept what the other person really wants or needs. They hear it, but they might not always, put it into action. But then they want that balance and harmony and fairness and all that too from the other. So this is a struggle, and this is a life lesson. Don't take Pluto lightly, because it's demanding. Whatever house it's in, and it's in Pluto and Libra, it's saying you have got to transform your relations, transform your views of balance and harmony and justice, right? I've got my E-isms, and I'm not trying to hurt any feelings or offend anybody when I say Gemini's the verbal slut, right? It's not a bad thing. It's Gemini likes to just share ideas and talk to anyone and everyone. That's part of their superpower and their magic, right? Well, Libras, they are the judge, jury, prosecution, and defense in their own court of laws. And you will lose in that courtroom. You can't out-debate a Libra. You can't win the argument with the Libra. In the Pluto and Libra generation, it's they are righteous and just. I'm not saying, that you guys aren't, but I'm saying that it's still from, it's still in your courthouse. Well, Pluto and Virgo, Pluto and Leo, Pluto and Scorpio, Pluto and Sag, they have their own courthouse too. And so you've got to merge that to truly find and to hear and listen and to receive someone else's view on peace, on fairness, on balance, on justice. And that's going to help you evolve. Because the minute you're introspective, you'll look within and see where you're not really being what you want. You have to give what you want to receive, Pluto and Libra. And that's how you ascend to the purity of these 7th house Venus Libra matters, right? Because you have the right mindset, you have the right heart, right? It's about adjusting your those scales. And this, the self-actualizing, but the self-admittance. You have to admit that you say 50-50, but you're given 30 or 40. So that's what Pluto is asking you to transform. It's asking you to mature, to evolve, to change. Because remember, in life, if you're not, it's like you're in the soil. If you're not evolving and changing and growing, then what are we doing? What are we here for? And, it's just the facts are the facts. Each generation has got its different archetype and assignment that Pluto is asking you in this carnation, in this lifetime, to heal, to change, to grow, to evolve. to investigate, so then you can share and dispense and revibrate, like, the energy flow to continue. Because Pluto's internal, and then you reflect it out externally. This is not easy. See, Pluto is deep psychosis, but deep psychological work. When you get into 8th house, it's not a game. It's no joke. So not take this lightly, because the reward is ascension and purity. And Libra, you're so pure. You're so just. You're so sweet and kind and pure. But people don't always feel that from you, because you're sending out mixed messages. Right? You can't say you want harmony from your partner, but then you're not creating or giving peace and balance. You know? So, it's a beautiful generation, a beautiful time. I mean, obviously, I'm at the edge of Pluto and Virgo, so this is all my time growing up. But, a lot of, besides my wife, a lot of my good friends are born in this generation. And I feel and see and sense the difference. I live with it every day. And, it's fascinating. Especially since I'm a Virgo, my wife's a Pisces, I see the yin yang and the balance and this and that. And sometimes Pluto and Libra, they just want to do everything on their own. Oh no, I don't need any help, you know what I mean? But then later on, there's that, well, why didn't you help me? So that's the mixed messaging. That's where the scales are off. So to adjust the scales, you have to look within first, so then the expectations come out the way that your heart really wants them to be received, in terms of the balance and justice and fairness and harmony that you want and the peace you want. And Pluto and Libra, they can get very upset if they feel like things are not just, if it's not balanced, if it's not fair. They can get very plutonic, very angry, very obsessed, very powerful, controlling. And they'll fight for a cause. That's the beauty. Pluto and Libra. I salute the generation. I tell you, Libra, and Libras know this. And I'm not just talking about Libra Sun, but anywhere where you have a lot of Libra energy in your chart, you can feel this, where it's not easy for you to look within it yourself, which is why you mirror what others give you. But your first inclination is 7th house, others, to look out at others, to assess and judge, and not really judge, because that's definitely more, Virgo. That's more Gemini, more Taurus, more Capricorn, more Aquarius. Libra is not. Libra is the judge, but Libra is the devil's advocate, right? They'll take opposing viewpoints just to get to a solution. They might not even agree with it, but they just like to see both sides of the coin and the conversation, the disagreement, the argument. And that's fine. But sometimes when they do that, they're not getting in the depth of it. They're standing on the sidelines, assessing and creating the conversation. But they're not telling you what their true gut feeling and instinct is about it. It's deep. You're deep. It's a beautiful generation, a beautiful placement. But the beauty that is from you and within you, you have to go within, heal where these elements have been hurt, traumatized, crises, pain, and then you transform it. That's what Pluto does in each generation, for you to kind of get your high vibration, right? Each sign, whether it's Aries or Taurus or Gemini, Pisces, Capricorn, Virgo, Libra, have their pros and cons, right? They're yin and yang, light and dark. So you have to be willing to do the Pluto thing and investigate, so then you can adjust, look within, investigate, admit, change, grow, ascend, so you can become true and more balanced, harmonious, peaceful, just, fair. Right? I mean, it makes sense. Like it is what it is. Okay? That's Pluto and Libra. That's Pluto anywhere. Pluto's tough. I mean, when you think about the virus and medical astrology aspect, it's the pelvic bone, it's the kidneys. Okay? That's Libra. So just, be mindful of, your intake of sweets and food and overeating or, things like that. Make sure you're drinking your water. And take the time to ask yourself tough questions, to love yourself, to make sure you're just, balanced, harmonious, fair, and sharing that with the world. And then you'll receive it all back in tenfold. Because everybody loves Libra. But Libra, you've got to take the time. And this is not for the Libra sons. It's the generation. 71 to 84, you have to take the time to make sure you're loving yourself. All right? Then you can get on the plane and soar. All right, Pluto and Libra. You are the judge, jury, prosecution, and defense in your own court of laws. And I said that since I was like 17, 18 years old. So it's just funny that it's coming, full circle and stuff. All right? And don't take yourself so seriously. You know, I know you care about the balance and the fairness and justice, and you can get compulsive and obsessive about it. But understand that what Pluto is asking us to do is to let go of the power, to let go of the control, and to surrender. That's where all the light comes out. When you let go and you surrender, then you let God in. And you're not trying to control everything. You're not the master of harmony, of peace, of balance, of justice, of relationships. You're just on the ride, enjoying it, receiving it, accepting it, giving it, on the flow of the energy, not in the power and control of it. Do you understand? That's the assignment. That's the mission. Peace, Libra. Pluto and Libra generation, 71 to 84. And check in your chart so you see where you fall, you know, and hit your boy up. Please join my Patreon. I got some new members that I'm just so thankful, and just making, you know, exclusive videos for them. And, you know, subscribe to the Twitter at Taylor2C and at BigEAstrology, Facebook and Instagram it's Taylor2U Coaching. And please subscribe and ring the bell down below so you always catch the flow. And eventually I'm gonna get to doing some YouTube Live. I've just been, I'm really busy working with clients and doing coaching and birth charts, and trying to really just organize everything, design the course. I'm updating the website, writing some new blogs. I mean, I haven't even gotten to TikTok and Pinterest yet. You know, I'm trying to get there, trying to do Clubhouse, you know. Somebody, you know, needs to come and support your boy, help your boy, but at least, you know, and you can donate to my Patreon, okay? You know, and I appreciate your support. So I have better cameras and better editing tools so I can give you free content like this, you know? But yeah, book a birth chart reading. Just hit me directly, Taylor2ucoaching@gmail.com, and let's get it popping. You know, we do the numerology. You know, hope you guys know about human design, reading your aura energy. I'm a 1-3 generator. That's the mad scientist. You know. And I go through everything, experience it or whatever, assess what's good or whatever, and then I share it and bring it to you. I got nothing but love for you, Pluto and Libra, and for all of you out there. Please share the videos, put your friend on, your homegirl, your homeboy, your mom, your grandma, your niece, your nephew, and please get the birth charts done for your children. This is the best way to help them with their education, their learning, understanding just every aspect of their childhood, the first 5 houses. That's growing up. It's important. So I try to tell my cousins and my friends, you know, but I know some people just aren't into astrology, but I promise you, it will blow your mind, and it is no joke and the truth. God controls every planet, not just Earth. Don't be an arrogant earthling. God controls the whole universe, the sun, the moon, Jupiter, Mars, Pluto. All right, Pluto and Libra, I can talk you to death. I'm out. Taylor2 Coaching. Peace, justice and harmony, peace and balance with me, relationships, how it be. Pluto and Libra seed. Investigation of within. Taylor2 Coaching.